Novi Public Library Board of Trustees regular meeting. Today is Thursday, September 26th. And we are going to start out with roll call with Bill Lawler, please.
Board Member Melissa Augusta.
Present.
Kat Dooley.
Absent excused.
William Lawler here. Craig Messerneck.
Here.
Tara Mishner.
Present.
Jeff Wood.
Absent excused.
Tori Yu.
Present.
And student representatives Mahek Nasser
Present.
and Tarun Tanjirala.
Present.
Excellent. Thank you so much. All right, let's everyone stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, so the first part is the approval and overview of agenda. Are there any changes or anything we need to add or omit, or any discussion? Julie, anything?
No.
All right,
Just the only thing to note would be the July minutes are still in there. We did not have quorum last month. So that would be the only thing to add. That's why you see them again.
All right, so what we'll do is when we get to that, we can vote to approve.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're on approval and overview.
You
Sorry.
what?
You're on approval and overview.
Okay, I just didn't know if
Yes.
there was anything
Nope.
else for the agenda that, okay, perfect. All right, could I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion. Go ahead.
Okay. Motion to approve the
And
agenda.
can I have a second?
Second.
And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Excellent, thank you. All right, number 5, the consent agenda. So what we're going to do is start out with A, and we're going to do an approval of the regular minute meetings from our July meeting. We did not have a quorum because trustee Messerneck was absent, so he is abstaining from vote. So could I have a motion to approve the regular meetings for our July meeting, please?
Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right, and then we're going to request an approval of our regular minutes, that's very hard to say, for our August meeting from August 22nd, and that is in our packet. Now, I am going to abstain from voting only because I was not in attendance. Any discussion, or do I have a motion to approve August minutes?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Perfect. Thank you. Check and check. All right, approval of claim and warrants, which is on page 24 through 27. The only thing that I was going to bring attention to was on page 24. You will notice Foster Swift. There were a couple invoices that were paid from fiscal year 2018-19. So that will go into last year's budget, so I just wanted to bring everyone's attention to that. Other than that, I do not have any additional changes or discussions. Do I have a motion to approve claims and warrants, please?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Perfect, thank you so much. All right, so number 6, correspondence. And that starts on page 28.
Yes, so on page 28, these are a number of patron comments and letters that were received in the past month. The first patron comment is from Marcia Goffney, one of our patrons, and she had attended one of the programs that took place at the library. It was the one on the Native Americans. She just was sending a kudos to Gail Anderson for the setup and for the coordination of the program, and then my response is below. And then on page 29, this is a thank you on behalf of Marianne Adams, Michigan Education Association Retired Staff Association, thanking us for the meeting room usage at the library. It was a rental, but thanking our staff for how well her group was attended and met needs for them for that particular rental. On page 30 is an email from Johannes L. Wart. This was in regard to a situation that we had at the library on the morning of Thursday, September 12th, and my response to that patron on page 30. Any questions to that particular correspondence? Okay. On page 31, this is a response that I gave to actually President Augusta in regard to one of our policies at the library for renewing our library card. And I put that in because I think it's beneficial to you in terms of a response. At this time, we have been looking into this. We want to do this. Right now, we're not allowed based on the consortium and the relationship we have with TLN. It's a larger system, but we have raised this question and we're hoping that they will work with us in order to bring this type of service to better use to our patrons in the future.
And I'm sure we're not the only ones asking for
No,
it, so I
absolutely.
think it'll
Yeah.
come.
But it was on their radar. It was brought up this summer when we had one of our larger meetings as a larger group, so we'll continue to work on that with them. And then on page 32, there is a handwritten thank you note from the city of Novi, their HR team. We took part in their health and wellness fair. A great opportunity for us to connect with the employees of the city and to share some of the information about the library and how the employees of the city can benefit. The iCube was, in terms of the information, one of the biggest highlights of the fair and them getting more information. So we appreciate them inviting us each year.
That was so nice, their thank you note. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
All right, number 7, presentation and special guest. We have April Stevenson. She is the Department Head of Information Services, and she's going to talk to us about the summer reading program.
Good evening.
Hi.
Evening.
Just one second here. Okay, 2019 Summer Reading Program. A Universe of Stories. That's what it was called this year. Well, excuse me, I'll get my papers ready. Okay, so we had astronauts, we had aliens, but you know what? We have a lot of information to unpack, so let's get going. So at the Novi Library, we have summer reading programs for all ages, and actually in one case, we actually duplicate by having the summer reading program birth through pre-K is the same ages as the Raising a Reader, but what we have found is that parents, we did go away with it 1 year when we first were doing Raising a Reader, and a lot of parents said, well, where's ours? Why can't you still do that one? So we brought it back. Okay, so here's my favorite parts, the statistics. So by the numbers. So this shows us an overall comparison of 2018, which is on the bottom grid there, and 2019. Our overarching goal between last year and this year was to increase the amount of people that finished the program. It is great to get lots of signups, but we wanted to see people stay with it. So happy to report that this is what occurred. And so we're very happy with that. Any questions there?
I
Yeah.
can't see it real well. What percentage did you finish?
What percentage finished? Many over 50%. And I'm about to go through that. And you'll see also too that this year, over 51,000 books were read. Okay, so next set of statistics that I love to look at. So students are our primary goal in this one, and let's break this down by school. It's a 3-year comparison. Here you will see results from 2017, and the percent of completion is all below 50%. I have included Novi schools and 2 of our Walled Lake schools that are located in Novi, and that would be Hickory Woods and Meadowbrook. But I'm happy to say the results do get better. So if we look on the left at 2018, we were very pleased last year with the amount of schools that began to creep up their completion rate over 50%. That kind of spurred us on and started the conversation that this is really what it should be about, is that completion rate. So you will see then that this year, in 2019, on the blue one, almost every single school was up over 50%. There were only 2, and I do want to draw attention to the fact that although Novi High School was one of them, in 2018 they had an 18% completion rate. And in 2019, they had a 45% completion rate. So
That's nice.
although it wasn't over 50, that's pretty darn close. So we're going to be happy about that. I do also want to, as a side note, we did see an overall increase in completions by our Northville students as well. Okay, so this is the eternal question that we ask ourselves every single year. Why? So as you'll see, again, a 3-year comparison there. Is it the dates? Does it matter how many weeks we go? Does it matter how many weeks that we're offering this while kids are in school? Is it the fact that our software improved, Beanstack, which I know some of you are familiar with? It did improve its interface. It provided an improved app. The reports function is much better. And this year we put it really front and center on the website. So is it that? Is it the Raising a Reader effect? The fact that so many families are now taking part in Raising a Reader, as well as our winter reading program. So the kids are used to this idea of reading a certain number of books for a certain amount of time. So is it that? I know, is it the rewards? Okay. Is it that? I know there may be questions as to whether summer reading programs have been incentivized. We have given away both big items, we've given away small items. However, we find that parents look at it as more, receiving that prize as more of a celebration that their child has read a certain amount, and it may be a way to encourage them to keep going. There are many other things in the lives of children where they receive an incentive or a celebration, and I think that reading of anything should definitely be one of those things that we encourage and celebrate. As we scroll through our social media, wouldn't it be nice to see so many celebrations for our children finishing certain numbers of books? We have already established that books are better than minutes, just across the board. If you're keeping track for your kids, you're keeping track for yourself, because I'm sure everybody here did the adult summer reading program. We saw a lot of increased numbers in the adult summer reading program as well. So for the future, as we look to that, we hope to improve our summer reading outreach. We went on several visits to the Novi Care program. We went to Feed the Need at Oakland Glens as well. Next summer, we will have the opportunities on the north end with the Lending Library. And the more we can connect and reiterate that message, the more chances that we will get them to complete the program. Because that's really what we want. We want them to keep reading. Okay, so it wasn't all statistics all summer. There was a lot of fun program-wise, so we see lots of fun pictures up there. We've got the 3D Derby, which was there again this year. Our kickoff, which had farm animals and face painting and lots of fun. Our Very Hungry Caterpillar, because it was the 50th anniversary of that. We had kids building rockets, visiting planetariums in our library, and making frozen ice cream. So a lot of science and a lot of fun. And that doesn't mean that we excluded our adults and our families, because they had a great car show. So that was a lot of fun. People did some meditation and some yoga, which is always good. They had a day of golf. And of course, many people enjoyed our summer music on the patio. Not to mention, of course, our iCube. Okay, Paradise Park, what can I say but a huge, gigantic thank you. 8 years of finale fun. We have been working with them on these summer reading finales since 2012. That was our very first year. This has been a wonderful offering for our community that they have donated each year. Typically, as a framework of reference, every child that attends receives a 2-hour wristband worth around $30. This includes laser tag, miniature golf, climbing wall, trampoline center, go-karts, Euro bungee, spaceship simulator, plus a slice of pizza and a drink. And this is all donated by Paradise Park owners Jeff and Teresa Wainwright, and all just to celebrate this idea that they read their books. I mean, how great is that? So this year, in addition to Paradise Park, the library also offered, we had our own finale party for the preschool participants, and then Paradise Park also offered a finale party for 7th through 12th grade, and all at no extra cost. And of course, Raising a Reader has a yearly party in the fall for those that finish for that particular year. So lots of fun there. Go-karting, and good stuff. So just a big special thank you to all of our sponsors that help us to support this summer reading program. And I'm sure you all are waiting with bated breath to find out about next year. So next year, 2020, I can't believe I'm saying that. When you imagine your story, there are many possibilities. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, my gosh. I just want to say thank you to your team, to the sponsors, to Paradise Park. It's such a fun thing to do, and, you know, for the kids and the adults and everybody. And you imagine your story for next year, just like, it's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was very
Thank you,
fun and
April.
pleasant. I love that. All right, number 8, public comment. In order to hear all citizen comments at a reasonable hour, the library board requests that speakers respect the 3-minute time limit. This is not a question and answer session, therefore library board members will not respond to questions. It is an opportunity to voice your thoughts with the Novi Public Library Board of Trustees. We do not have anyone in attendance today, so we will move on to the student representative report.
This is the August 2019 Student Representative Report by Mahek, Tarun, and Ms. Gochai. For the programs, the STEM Build Your Own R2K rocket program took place on August 7th. The Longway Planetarium from Flint, Michigan brought hands-on STEM learning to the library. Participants were able to build and launch an air-powered R2K rocket. Attendance was 40. Students in grades 7 through 12 who completed the summer reading program were eligible to attend the 2019 summer finale at Paradise Park on August 22nd. Thanks to our friends at the Paradise Park, participants were able to enjoy free games, laser tag, and food. The attendance for that was also 40. The Between the Pages Tween Book Club program took place on August 28th. Attendees read the book Max Einstein, The Genius Experiment by James Patterson. The purpose of the program was to discover new books, encourage reading, and make new friends. The attendance for that was 10. The Science of Sound program took place on August 28th. Participants were able to understand how musical instruments produce sound by learning about sound principles in hands-on science stations. The attendance for that was 14.
For our Teen Space update, there was no Teen Space during July. Teen Space is offered during the school year except during vacation breaks. Teen Space will resume again on September 3rd. For our Teen Advisory Board update, there was no TAB meeting in the month of August. TAB meetings will resume again in September 2019, when the 2019-2020 school year begins. The next TAB meeting will be on September 20th. For our upcoming programs, the Tween Advisory Board meeting will take place on October 9th, the Python Programming Basics on October 15th and October 29th, the Tween Cupcake Decorating Party October 16th, the Tween Battle of the Books Informational Meeting October 22nd, the Between the Pages Tween Book Club on October 23rd, our TAB meeting on October 25th, and the Intro to Tinkercad on October 30th. For the pictures below, the first one is guests enjoying building their own R2K rockets, and on the back are guests enjoying this month's Tween Book Club title.
So thank you, sorry, thank you so much. I just have a question. When do you decide which book they're going to read? Is that do you tell them at that meeting, this is what the book we're going to discuss next month?
No, I think sorry. I do believe Lindsay has those planned in advance, so
Okay.
that purchasing of those copies
Okay.
and yeah.
So they know
So she
when you're-
probably has a good list if you'd like me to send it to you.
I was just curious.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do believe she has them pretty well decided in advance.
I love tween books. Yeah, they're just
A lot of great reading.
Great
A lot of
reading.
adults read tween and young adult fiction.
absolutely. Any questions, comments? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You guys have a great evening.
Thank you.
And then we have the grant letter.
Yes,
To Lindsay.
On page 35, as you know, Lindsay is amazing at working on grants, and this is one of the humanities grants that we had heard we might be getting. She had applied for it. This does just indicate that we did receive it, and so I thank her for taking the time to do this. She is very diligent in looking for those dollars for the teen programming, so I do thank her very much for that.
Thank you for sharing. All right, President's report. All right, so we're going to start out with the strategic objectives on page 36, which is our new objectives for the next 3 years, which is very exciting that our strategic planning committee has been working on for almost 2 years, pretty much.
But
Yeah.
you're right, a little
Yeah.
over a year that we had been
Discussion
doing
and-
it, so
yeah.
absolutely. And this is obviously the three objectives that are at the very top. Empower universal literacy, escalate an innovative and inclusive culture, and enhance core interactions within our diverse community. From there are lots of goals and objectives and bits and pieces that we want that formulate and fit into and provide a direction for where we're going in the next 3 years. As I shared in the packet, Dana Britannic, who's on our communications team, she's looking to put that together into a one-piece document, and she is creating that currently. So I hope to have something to you as a draft to show the strategic planning committee and then to bring to board in October.
Thank you.
You're
Any
welcome.
questions, comments, or discussion? All right, and then the second part is the goals update, which we'll get in October.
You will.
That'll be listed out, and then we'll see what we've done. Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, so we're going to, next is the treasurer's report, and I'm going to read that since trustee Wood is unavailable. All right, we're going to start out on pages 38 through 40, which is the approved budget for Fund 268 for fiscal year 2018, let's move forward the year, 2019, 2020. Total revenue is $3,142,439. Approved total expenditures is $3,234,539, potentially using $92,100 of our fund balance. Amended budget for Fund 269, fiscal year 2019-2020. Total revenue, $39,500. Total expenditures, $75,250, with using fund balance of $35,750. The revenue and expenditure report for Fund 269 for year-to-date, August 31st. Total revenue is $166,417. Total expenditures is $489,378. And we have used $322,961 of our fund balance. I'm sorry, I should tell you that the revenues did increase by $132,659. Our expenditures increased $300,609, and we should receive the revenues in October usually. Okay,
Typically,
perfect. So
yep.
just so you know, we'll get that.
Audit purposes, yep.
Yeah, in October. The revenue and expenditure report for Fund 269, year-to-date, August 31st, total revenues is $3,126. That is an increase of $2,011. Our expenditures were $1,130. That was an increase of $933. The balance report as of August 31st, our ending fund balance for Fund 269 is $1,775,528. And the ending fund balance for Fund 269 is $1,678,082. Are there any questions about the report? Perfect. Thank you. All right, the director's report. Julie?
Okay, so starting on page 49, we have our October anniversaries. To start off, Barbara Rakowski, she is our Head of Information Technology, 22 years. Patricia Ameriscondri, she's from our Support Services Department. She is one of our clerks, 17 years. Kit Ming Tang from our Support Services Department as a library shelver, 11 years. Kristen Abbott, Support Services. She's actually one of our supervisors, specifically in technical services, and 10 years. Linda Bruin, Information Services, one of our librarians, 10 years. And I'd like to make a note of Linda. I don't mean to point her out, but I want to explain how Linda came to us. She started as a clerk working in our library, loving the environment, wanting to go to library school after being in the environment, going to library school, then interning at our information desk to learn about library science and the art of being a librarian at the desk, and then became an employee as a librarian. I want to just tell that because we've used that opportunity for people who start maybe in a clerk's position, a lower level maybe in the library, but then the opportunities are there should they choose to go on to school or find that the library science program might be of interest to them. They seek it out. We definitely encourage it if they're interested. And then if we can, being able to provide an intern opportunity for her, and then the opportunity for a position at the library. So there was a perfect story right there for how she came over the last 10 years. I can't believe she's been here 10 years. That's what I said to her when I saw her the other day, and I was like, 10 years? And I go, I knew you when, like when she was a little girl and started her career. So it just as an example of, how we're cultivating, those employees. And then Steve Polizzi, he's from Information Services. He's our substitute librarian specifically for Sundays. You will see Steve, but he also helps out in a lot of other capacities in the evening as well. And he has been with us for 7 years. At the bottom, you can see a photo of our lovely ladies, I will call them, who are our supervisors and managers of the cafe. So from left to right, we have Cheryl, Nicole, Evol, and Donna. And they have, if you haven't been in, but I have heard that you have introduced yourself, many of you have said hello. They are really creating a wonderful atmosphere for our library. Just this week, because we're touching base with them on a regular basis with all the equipment that's starting to arrive and trying to make that final grand opening. So there was equipment today, actually throughout this week, there's been a lot of equipment. And so we've been down there helping them out if we can, providing facilities if they need it. And to hear them interact with the students is just amazing. So at 2:00 when students come over, because they've had that experience with the school already and already know some of those students, it's very easy for them to say hello and ask them how was their summer because they're seeing them back for the first time, or I have already engaged them maybe from a week ago or before the weekend. And so on Monday when I was down there, Cheryl specifically was talking to a young man and she's like, how was your weekend? And he's like, great, how was yours? So it's friendships and things that are also building at the cafe and with the kids. They're wonderful about should Teen Space get moved from the West Meeting Room, which we had to quickly move it one time this week, for them to be proactive in saying, hey guys, we want to let you know Teen Space isn't in its normal location today, which is right by the cafe. You'll want to go to the youth activity room today. They're taking that initiative too, to keep people informed as to where to go, because that's the audience at that particular time that they're working with. I'm over the moon with how we're doing so far. And they will go through training on Tuesday, October 1st. They have a 4-hour training. The cafe will be closed so that they can be specific to their learning. And then October 9th, which is a date I haven't been able to share with you because I just got it confirmed, they will go full service and they will go with their new hours. So we will communicate that because the newsletter is going out on Monday. You will see all of that great information, but they will open earlier and try to be more convenient to our travelers who might be down 10 Mile, maybe going to the school or just traveling to work. The library will open, the lobby part and the cafe will open earlier than the 10 a.m. time period. So I'm very excited about how open and receptive they've been to being available and to provide cafe service to our community. So we are very excited.
May I make a comment?
Oh, yes.
Thank you so much. So if I can just give them kudos already,
Please do.
Yes. So my family was at the library maybe I want to say 2.5 weeks ago, and we met Nicole.
Yep.
And you talk about how she interacts with the students. Well, she interacted so perfectly with my little student. She was patient with him. She helped with he had his little jar of money that he earned from his summer. He's very discerning with that. And I'm serious. And she was like, okay, let me help you pick out something. He's like, oh, well, how are those Reese cups? And, it was cute. But she treated him like he was making the biggest purchase ever. She treated him with respect, and she got on his level. And he was like, I want some Cheetos too. And I was like, no, Cannon. And she was like, yeah, maybe that could be next time. Maybe we'll share some next time. So even today, he's over at Makerspace. But he was like, that lady said she's going to share some Cheetos with me. I remember that. Just the building, the relating on the kids' level. I saw a mom there with their baby, and I got nostalgic about back in the day when I was like, man, it'd be nice if I had like a good, delicious coffee. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you get my point.
I do.
Okay.
I really do. The vibe is very, very positive.
It's so clean.
Yes.
Can I say that? It's
Yes,
so
you
clean.
can. And, all new equipment, shiny and new, which is exciting too. New products that we've never seen before.
There you go.
So that, yes, Detroit products as
Yes.
well. And my staff, the vibe is very positive from the staff as well. They've been wonderful interacting with the staff as well. Honestly, they kind of are part of the staff. Does that make sense? Even though
They
they're
act like
separate,
it.
they are.
I think it's going to be a value add for our whole community. And I think it's going to draw
I do
people
too.
into the library.
I do
They
too.
like food too.
Yes,
So,
yes.
And coffee.
The library's always been many purposes.
Yep.
And I just want to thank you for the support. I know it took some time. It did. Longer than I had hoped, but honestly, we're only moving forward and going down green pastures, and it's been great. Even things that come up, the opportunity to talk about it and figure out, well, how will we make it work, has been very positive as well. So I just think this is just a wonderful win-win for our community and for the library. So thank you all for your support over the year to make this happen. Yep. So following from that, I don't know how it can get even more exciting, but I got to sit down with another superintendent, and that is Ken Gutman from the Walled Lake Consolidated School District, and we had lunch, and you know this, and everyone else does. We do use Novi, and I don't mean to say the word use, but we work with Novi Community School District, and they are our guinea pigs for things, because with them being so close, we try so many things with them first, and being able to sit down with Ken and say, this is working for us, and let's try it with you, and we know you're a little farther, but we're gonna make it work. I'll tell you one thing, Trustee Yu, thank you. Trustee Yu has definitely opened some major doors for us, especially this year, with a lot of opportunities from him knowing the calendar better, and letting us know of upcoming events and things that we can be part of, and then connecting with some wonderful educators and their team over at the Walled Lake School District. So I thank you so much for that.
Absolutely.
Mr. Gutman is amazing, just like Dr. Matthews is. We are very blessed to have the districts that we are working with and the reception that we get from them. So we will see Walled Lake Consolidated grow, our relationship with them, because they are just as open and willing to work with us as Novi Community School District is. And so more to come, because our big push will be the north end and connecting families and taking that opportunity come late winter, early spring to do more, along with what we have planned, thanks to Trustee Yu, with different events that we've already been taking part in, but then we'll be taking part in the future. So great opportunity there. The iCube, I had to give you some numbers. It was time for you to see what's going on in there. It is busy, it is exciting, the buzz, not only from the machines, which there are some unique sounds, but this is just a space that continues to grow, and I can tell you, if you haven't been in there lately, I know I had the chance to share with Trustee Augusta and Trustee Jeff, thank you, Trustee Wood, on Monday night when we had our meeting. I had them stop in, and Trustee Lawler, we got a chance to look at the iCube again to see how it's grown. So 4 new tables are now in there compared to the first time you might have seen it in June, and more equipment keeps coming. And the use of it is definitely growing as well. We were able to, by September, put in our counter. We are averaging over, well, we've seen, we know for sure, over 900. That's with the counter in September, and then roughing it, in June, July, and August when we didn't have that in place. So I do believe the numbers are higher, but that's a conservative number for you. And then the average use of it. Today we had the Novi Rotary there. We hosted them for, typically I do my annual meeting at the library in September because of it being library card sign-up month. And then they got a tour of the iCube as well. Everyone mouths dropped and they just couldn't believe the opportunities for what they could do in that room. And I think they might benefit, by creating things for the Rotary themselves and maybe even getting their Interact teen club involved too. So they saw some major potential in that space. We're trying right now with HOAs. This is kind of like HOA period. Meetings are coming up in the fall and they connect with their communities. So we're just really focusing on if they're taking the opportunity to have a 10-minute presentation by a library staff. You don't have to pay a rental. HOAs, and we are taking them into the iCube. There's no reason to sit down and pass out papers to them. We want to take them to the space and show them what's happening. So we're demoing big time. So that's what's been going on there. And then moving on, Staff and Service Day, I wanted to give you the results of the comments that we received from the staff so that you could see the numbers on how the day fared from the staff itself based on the different topics. And photos from the staff as to what they got. We really wanted them to interact with the iCube and get real comfortable with it so that depending on what capacity they are in the building and with guests of the library, they can talk it up based on the experience that they had personally themselves. And that was a great day. Then on page 52, I wanted to highlight Hillary Henschel. She is our ambassador for the Novi Chamber of Commerce. She is our business librarian, so it's a perfect fit. Hillary is also going to take part in the ABWA, the American Business Women's Association, which is there's a Novi chapter as well. So she's working with the chamber and different business organizations to bring us some great programming and highlight our library. Next week, October 2nd, is the Business Blender at the library. We always hold it in the fall, and it's in conjunction with the chamber. If you haven't RSVP'd, but you think you might be coming by, it will be at 8 a.m. at the library if you want to stop in that morning. So it's October 2nd. Feel free. Just give me a heads up. That's all. Just for numbers, if you can make it, we'd love to see you. The purpose will be different vendors, but we will showcase the iCube again for that group that attends. Page 53, these were the holidays and closures that we approved from last month. I just wanted to put them in so that you had a clean copy. So this is just informational.
Since the Friends
yes.
aren't having their annual event, will we still be closing at 5 p.m. on October 23rd?
That is for 2020. That is a date.
That's for
Yes,
2020.
that is already set. They're not having their event this year in October, so that's a great question, Trustee Lawler. And we will be open. It said we were closing at 5 o'clock on the calendar. We'll be open. Yes, and it'll be normal hours. So great question. That is for next year, and that's a hard date for sure. They've already put it in the calendar. They're planning, it's their 60th anniversary, so it'll be a big deal. I don't know what they're planning yet, but it'll be fun. Page 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, and 59 is the e-newsletter. I've been taking that now and putting it in. It is always a month behind, but it just gives you a snippet of, some of the things that happened in September, or August, I'm sorry. Is that August or? I guess I'm ahead of myself. So that is.
This is the one you sent in August.
Yeah, so this is the September one, yes. So it's September. So that you're aware of, because it goes out on September 1st. And then on page 60, we had a wonderful write-up in Novi Today magazine. And this is about the iCube, as you can see, trying to get out as much word as possible to our community. And we know people that have seen this article and have come in because of this article. And then on page 61, I have heard from a couple of you that you will be attending the breakfast that we are hosting for our school friends. So thank you very much to that. Page 62 is our Authors Live Luncheon. This is an annual event that we've been doing with our Fox Run friends, and if you're interested, you still have until October 7th to RSVP and call the admin office. The fee is $20 per person. We have 3 authors that will be highlighted that day. They will be present at the event. Doc Fletcher, he will be sharing his new book, The History of Tiger Stadium, A Love Letter to Baseball at Michigan and Trumbull. And then we have Michael H. Hodges, Building the Modern World. And then we have Elisa Koopman's Perceived Threat, which is a fiction novel. This is a first-time author. So all 3 of these authors will be on site. They will talk for about 20 minutes each. You have the opportunity to buy and have your book signed at the event. And it's Fox Run that hosts the event for us. I know that the spots are filling quickly. I know we were close to 60 just last week. So it's definitely something that is popular with our community. If you're looking for good authors and to connect with them, I highly recommend it. Page 63 is the Information Technology Report from Barb Rakowski. As you can see, I want to point out just on page 63 at the top there, one of the Enable hands that was custom made for Nikki, and we sent that out, and below is our Enable team, and they were getting ready, bagging the hands, the 200 hands that were created. We do have a location in India, and we will be sending along some of those very shortly. And then on page 65 are some examples of some wonderful creative items that have been made in our iCube. So not only are we engraving in wood and glass, fabric, they tinkered with metal this week, leather. So these are options, for you if you're interested in creating or making something. Page 65 is our report by Keith Perfect for the Facilities Department. Everything is going well. They have been spending a little bit of time helping out that cafe should they need anything when it comes to building. Anything related to your equipment, we're not touching, that's theirs. But if it's building related and maybe connecting to a water line or something, we are assisting them with that.
How are the LED lights performing? I know at one time there was some flickering and that sort of thing.
Yep, everything is going well. Everything was reconfigured. We've had no issues to this date. I just had a report of one light in the admin hallway this week, but we think it's a ballast and not the fixture itself, and they're looking into that. That's going to happen because we didn't do a full ballast, replacement. So we know those over time might. But in terms of LED in general, the lights have been working very well. Yep, no issues. Page 66 starts the Information Services Department report by April Stevenson. A lot of information for August, as you can see, wrapping up summer reading, but then getting ready for the fall. And it continues on to page 68, which you can see the wrap-up numbers for the 2019 summer reading program. She lists all the programs that took place and the numbers so that you can get a good sense of, attendance and what we did for summer reading. Also our Raising a Reader programs as well. And then even the annual report for Raising Reader, which starts on page 70 and goes on to page 71. Early Childhood Literacy Box Program, that was a new addition. This was one of Emily's wonderful ideas in connecting with our schools and with teachers. So this is providing literacy boxes. And then continuing on page 72, as you can see, a lot of outreach and promotion in regard to early literacy. And then on page 73, a new collection, which was spearheaded by Kristen Malzahn, one of our librarians, working with our technical services, support services team, and it's our Vox collection. So it's an added collection where it's an audio player built into the book so that you can listen to it and follow along. As you know, we have different types of learners, and we want to make those opportunities available as much as possible. So this is a new collection that is brand new and will continue to grow. It's a great way for early literacy learning as well and listening to words. So we're very excited that that's been added. April added a lot of wonderful photos, as you can see, of programming that happened. And then on page 76, we have the Support Services Department report by Mary Ann Zermulin for August. Great statistics. At the bottom there in August, if you can see it, where it says statistics, August, at the very bottom, it says library cards issued, 1,331, of which 937 went to the Novi Community School District for their employee card sign-up campaign. And we have seen and heard from a lot of our educators, one, thanking us for the opportunity to have the card and have the access, and two, for the fact that they are stopping in and they're taking advantage of that resource for them. So we're very excited about that. Our statistics then follow on page 77, lots of new statistics. Page 77, you see that Mary Ann highlighted the 1,331, and that was for the new cards. On page 79, just wanted to note that there was a highlight as well that the counter was unavailable on 9/28 and 9/29, so there were 2 days that we didn't have a count. And then these statistics continue through on to page 85. Should you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. I know with the new year, there's not much there to chew on yet. And then following on page 86 is our Friends of the Novi Library. This is from their June meeting, so just bringing you up to date on that. They did not have a September meeting, so they're a little behind on minutes, but they will catch up. And page 89, we will discuss the operating agreement. It is back here again for you. And then on page 93 is the bits and pieces, which is a report by the TLN executive, Jim Pletz, just giving you a little bit of information from our consortium. And then our library board calendar is on page 94. I'm happy to answer any questions, should you have any.
I have one thing.
Yes.
Going back to
Sure.
page 50.
Page 50, great.
You talked, there's two things. One,
Yes.
you didn't mention the $2,000 grant that Mary is applying for. So
She
that's
is, yes.
Very exciting.
So, yep, that's through the Metro Detroit Book and Author Society, which will take place in October. So fingers crossed,
Okay, good.
absolutely.
Excellent. And then you talked about, like, when you guys did the in-staff day, you had your team using, like, the machine so they can feel more comfortable.
Yep.
Have they ever thought about doing either, like taking pictures or doing a video or something of each of the machines? Because I know myself, when I come in, it is very intimidating.
More like a little
Impressive.
tutorial, kind of,
Well,
okay.
even if it's like on Facebook
Sure.
or something, they can
Yep.
post, this is this, and it's simple to use, just like a 30-second.
Absolutely.
Just because I would love to know what all they do. It is so impressive that it is intimidating, and when I came in the other day, I felt like it was just another place it was just been so beautifully updated.
Nope, that'll be great material, actually, for Facebook and
Yeah.
Twitter, actually,
Oh,
both of them. So,
yeah,
yep,
yeah.
happy to.
Okay.
Yes,
wonderful.
thank you.
Well, that's all I have. Thank you
that's
for that.
wonderful. Thank you.
Anybody comments, questions? That was a lot. That was amazing. Thank you.
It was a great month.
Yeah.
Busy month.
That was so busy. Okay, moving on to number 13, the committee report. Start off with the policy committee.
So I don't have anything new. I noticed that Julie mentioned some things that we're gonna go into, like we're gonna talk about the Friends.
Yep, their memorandum of understanding is in here. Yes.
Yeah, so just a note on that, but I think we're gonna get deeper into detail when it's time to talk deeper about it. Outside of that, I don't have anything.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
B, HR committee, we haven't had anything, correct? Nothing.
You have not, except
They-
that we started our internal committees. So the staff, as you can see on the second bullet point, I've given you the names of the staff that offered. I put out a call for who wanted to be involved and took volunteers from the staff to be involved in reviewing the policies. So both HR and building policies, which fall under Trustee Mitchner, you have people that are from the staff that will be part of my committees first to do all those reviews, and then we'll start working with you as we get those suggestions and ideas.
Perfect. So you'll let me know when you need me.
Yes. Okay. And it won't be, what I do is I try to do lots of legwork with them first.
Okay.
And it takes about 6 months.
Okay.
Yes, so I have every 2 weeks, both HR and policy, and they're two different groups,
Yeah.
that we are going to be meeting and taking a chunk of policies each time, walking through them, do they see anything? I've got great people who are grammar people, policy people, they've been involved. So I'm looking for them to offer suggestions, ideas, if they've ever heard of a policy from another library, if they've worked in another library, maybe even another form of employment. This is where I look for them to bring ideas. And then we start drafting them should there be changes, and then I bring them to the committee as a whole for us to go through once you've seen drafts.
Sure.
So probably I've given my staff a time frame of getting through them from September through January, and then we'll be coming to you probably January, February, March.
Yeah.
And start meeting so that we can give you what we think are thoughts and ideas.
And we've done this before.
Yes, we have.
So,
This is
yeah.
every 2 years that
Yes.
we try to look at everything.
familiar.
I think the process went well
Yeah.
by doing it this way.
Yeah.
It allows us to do the heavy work for you.
Yeah.
But, you know.
And then we
so-
just kind of go through and highlight, I remember.
Right.
Yes, that's fine. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yep. So I've got great crews on both. These were all volunteers, so everyone who offered time, I took advantage of them and their offer.
Well, thank you
Yep,
for everyone to
absolutely.
volunteer. We appreciate your time and assistance in creating a nice, smooth transition.
And each department is represented too by the people that are involved.
Awesome. All right, thank you. All right, C, Finance Committee. I'll just kind of do some highlights from the notes. We did have a meeting scheduled for Monday, September 23rd, and we'll discuss that at our next meeting and what we came up with. The cafe, as we discussed, is running smoothly. So we will wait to hear like costs and stuff at our next meeting when we get all the invoices in.
Yeah.
And,
Don't have all the finals yet.
yeah, and that's all I have for that. All right, D, Events, Marketing, and Fundraiser.
All right, so events marketing grouping. Past months we've been working on the trustee bingo. I got all those ideas collected and sent to Dana, so hopefully that's gonna be starting soon. Marketing plan updates, we've been working on those and having those sent to Dana and Julie, so I believe we got all those sent. Otherwise, that's about it. In terms of programming, not a whole lot yet. August 28th, we had our state fair event. President Augusta went to that. Anything you want to say about that?
Amazing, impressive. Yeah, the state fair, the way it's growing each and every year and the new things that they're bringing, and it was a beautiful event. I enjoyed it.
Now, the most important thing, did you get elephant ear?
I did not. I didn't have cash and they weren't taking credit cards and the ATM was down, so I didn't get any snacks. But the luncheon was amazing too. The luncheon and the state fair. Yeah, I went to the event with my mom, and we used to go to the real one in Detroit forever because she was a Detroit police officer. So to go and to see the animals, and it was pretty cool. Yeah, thank you.
All right, so that was the state fair event, and then the Song Fest you went to talk about that before I hop into mine. The Song Fest on the 13th.
I was there. Remind me.
Julie Landry. and
Oh
David.
my
Yes.
gosh, that was so much fun. Sorry, it was a full moon. It was amazing. They are so, the Landrys are so wonderful and talented and so much fun, and the support that was there, I mean, the music and the food and Paradise Park. Oh, I can't wait for the next one.
I know.
Yeah,
So
loved it.
we're hoping to plan from that. We won, obviously, we tried it last summer, and they took part, and then this year, and we did both of those events in September. I'm going to be working with Paradise Park to maybe do a summer session where it's June, July, August, September, one Friday out of the month, and bringing some entertainment over there. Their pavilion is a wonderful space for outdoor, just like ours is, but the opportunity, for refreshments
And
and
food.
food. Plus, to make it even more family-friendly, you have all those other activities. So should the adults want to be in one area and enjoy the music, children can also be in other areas and benefit as well. So it's a really nice family event. And we took it there because I don't believe every library program has to be at the library. And with Paradise Park being a wonderful supporter of our summer reading program, doing it at no cost, for hundreds of kids to be involved. I like the opportunity that we can bring something there and share in that experience. We had 130 people in attendance at that Friday night event.
So much fun.
It was, and a really well-rounded crowd from our library patrons and supporters. So it was wonderful. It was. I hope we can do more, and I'll be looking for some entertainment that we might be able to provide there as well.
I had a quick note. if that's okay. I don't know if I should look at Melissa or Tori. It's on the marketing thing.
Okay.
And so I was at the breakfast, the all-you-can-eat. I didn't eat too much, don't worry. Pancake breakfast, and I know we had library presence there. So I don't know if that should be noted. That was on September 14th.
Oh,
Do you know what I'm talking about, the back-to-school
I
breakfast?
do. I'm
We
sorry,
had
I
a
wasn't
great-
aware that you were going. Okay.
Yeah, I was there. There was a big library presence there, though, and they
Yes.
did a great job. I got a really cool picture of Hillary and her baby that I should send to you.
Oh, you
actually,
please, yeah.
From the breakfast.
Okay, would love it.
But I'm like, oh, I should have said something. So,
All right.
if you want to, I don't know
Sure.
if it's needed to add or not.
Yep,
but-
we will, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was
This is
for
awesome.
Saturday, September 14th, it
Yeah.
was. Yep.
All right, I'll add that. And then just backtracking on that week on the 10th, and I think it was also the 11th, we had our school open house at Hickory Woods Elementary, and in the past couple years, the libraries had a table just to do flyers and also do library card sign up. Tuesday the 10th was our lower owl group, and Kristen was our librarian on duty for that one. And she got bombarded with kids signing up for library cards and picking up rulers and all that. So that was great to see also. And then our upper owl group was the 11th. Lindsay was at that one. She didn't get as bombarded, but she did get pretty attacked also.
I think they're used to that.
I think so. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the strategic planning committee, we already reviewed the objectives, and it doesn't look like there's anything new. We're just waiting for Dana. Right, awesome. And then building landscape committee, please.
Okay. As we talked before, we'll be having moved the race car out of the library probably in about 2 weeks or so. When we do that, it'll start before our normal hours, and we'll probably have to close the library for a couple of hours to make sure it's safe and get that out. But that should take place in a couple of weeks. The cafe we've already talked about. The one thing I would add to that is Julie was tenacious in making sure we got to where we got with this. There were a number of issues I won't go into, but it has worked out quite well, and I think we're all anxious to see when all the equipment is and the full menu is being served.
I was given a free pumpkin spice latte just to try it, and I want to
Are
let
you
you
the
know
official tester?
Yes, I give it an A+. So. And it came in the Starbucks cup with the sleeve. I mean, it's so official. I'm sorry, but
Can we make that official that we will have Starbucks?
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
Starbucks,
it's-
we will
Yeah.
have
Yes.
Starbucks, everyone.
The sign
Millions
is
of listeners.
The sign is up. There's,
Oh, I
as
haven't
you
seen it
walk
yet.
in, there's a sign that sticks out, and there's one more actually to be installed. So this, yeah,
Will
go
we
for
be
it.
on the
Tell.
app, on the Starbucks app as a?
They will not, because it's not franchised, that's why. Your app and your points and rewards. So here's what I suggest, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, during the week, my work week, I'm going to give back to the Novi Library 5 days. On the weekend, I'll go to my grocery store and I'll give back on my rewards. So I don't lose out either way, and you don't either,
There
but
you
the
go.
library will also,
Win-win.
get some love, so. Figured it out. I want to make sure, my peeps that I see at my grocery store, Starbucks, still see me, but I think they're going to see me more in my building
There you go.
every morning.
That
We
works
won't
out.
sell gift cards, will we?
Actually, we will. Yes. So that, great question. Yes, we're working with them right now for them to provide some kind of gift card that you can load, and then it would be able to be used there.
Yay.
They also already accept Apple Pay and debit, credit, and everything. So, and I've seen parents load up an Apple Pay, and give them an allowance, and we've seen students use it already. Yeah.
So can we use our Starbucks card? No. Okay.
No Starbucks gift cards and no Starbucks app.
So you can purchase the card, you just can't use it.
You're gonna get a card, you would purchase a card from the actual cafe.
Oh, okay.
They're gonna create a card
Okay,
that you'll be
gotcha.
able to
Okay.
use, yes. But you won't be able to use Starbucks
Okay,
brand
gotcha,
cards.
okay. And that's what I was confused
So
about.
they're designing, that's what they're
Okay.
looking at right now, is designing something that they can, we're hoping that this will be out before holidays, so there's an opportunity for people to buy something like that for the use in the library.
And then a quick cafe question. Since we're looking at opening earlier, are we able to post anything on 10 Mile, even like a little yard sign?
We are not.
Okay.
There are specific rules to being a proudly served. It has to be internal signage.
Or even as soon as it's cafe, open at 7?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
Well,
We just say cafe.
yeah, I was gonna say, we might be able to do something that I have to check with the city and their ordinances and things, but, I know that as long as it doesn't have the logo.
Right.
We probably could do something like that. So yes, that probably won't be a problem.
Yep.
Marketing.
Yep. And you'll be getting that info very soon.
So the cafe is coming along quite smoothly. And obviously very
I know.
exciting for a number of people.
I've had 2 cups today, so it's really exciting.
Only 2.
Only 2.
Meeting for me.
We moving to the mundane after the Starbucks discussion. We had some drainage issues. We were, last I heard, waiting for one more quote.
Yes, those have been received. We've gone through the quotes. We have honored the work to one particular company,
Okay.
and they will be in next week to start the investigative work.
Good.
Great.
Lending Library Kiosk, again, as we talked about before, we'll be doing training in the springtime to get that,
And-
get ready for that to be implemented.
And my team and I have a meeting next week, a planning meeting with them.
Okay.
So we're still moving along internally in terms of the planning.
LED lighting, we talked about at this point in time, everything's done. Whatever comes up now is going to be just the routine maintenance that you would always have with that kind of work. And the van, we had a meeting to discuss wrapping it.
Yes.
You're getting pricing, or you did get pricing? I don't
Going to be
know.
getting some pricing,
Okay.
so,
So that's
starting to
moved
look at
along
that.
nicely
And
also.
design work to see what it might look like.
Yeah, that'll be exciting to see.
It will be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Thank you, sir. Bylaw Committee.
No active initiatives at this time.
Thank you, sir. All right, public comment. This is our second. In order to hear all citizen comments at a reasonable hour, the library board requests that speakers respect the 3-minute time limit. This is not a question and answer session. Therefore, library board members will not respond to questions. It is an opportunity to voice your thoughts with the Novi Public Library Board of Trustees. We currently don't have anyone in attendance. Number 15, matters for board action. A, the approval of the operating agreement with the Friends of the Novi Library and the Novi Library Board of Trustees. This is our second draft. Is there any questions, discussions?
And I didn't receive any comments back or anything from the Friends as well, so they are comfortable with the way this has been written and presented.
Could you briefly summarize any differences in here versus what we've been operating with?
I could. It is more detailed, and I think it spells out better under like library responsibilities, just who, where we're looking for there to be, action and how we do our process. It's actually, so for example, the wish list. We will bring a wish list to the Friends. It'll be approved by the board. That's how we bring ideas and opportunities for them to give back in terms of gift money. So that's spelled out. In terms of, preparing a budget, we look for them to present that as well as us presenting back and forth. I would love, which is not in here, it's noted, but I'd love if someone was interested in attending once in a while a Friends meeting from the board, knowing that, we have this, arrangement with them, and we've had this arrangement. What stemmed this to be more legal is really what it is, and is that we are looking at and investigating an endowment, and so that sparked the opportunity for us to look at how, as our entity with the Friends and how the library, how we work together and how we are separate and what defines us, so that, and the responsibilities of the two.
So is it fair to say that this formalizes perhaps what we've been doing?
Absolutely.
I just
Absolutely.
wanted that to be,
Sure, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was a great question.
And I'm interested in talking with you about maybe every now and then attending
Sure.
a Friends meeting. As long as I've noticed, I can do it.
Yep, so they're in the calendar. It's always the second Wednesday of the month at 7:00. I do believe Kat Dooley has offered to go to their October meeting.
Okay.
From the marketing perspective.
Okay.
So, so she's offered to, even if you guys want to take turns, feel
And I
free.
would be happy to.
Yeah,
Okay.
That'd be great. I just think it shows,
At least once a year?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I would be more than happy to.
I'll be honest, I'd like it more than once a
Oh,
year.
no, I'm saying for me.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
No, I will
Because
be more than happy to go
they-
and then have support.
They're,
that?
they're our
That sounds great.
biggest
Okay.
supporter.
No, I will
They
be
really
the,
are.
I'll be the number one, and then Tara
Yeah.
and Kat could be support if that would be. Yeah, so I will
Yeah.
put that on my calendar for
I
every.
think they'd love to see you. I do. I mean, I
Well, we
just
love
think
to
it.
see them too.
I know, and they're
Yeah,
they're
we'll
so
take it in our
supportive.
calendars.
So
No,
it is
I'll make
always
it
the
happen.
second Wednesday of the month, typically at 7. Dana is their liaison. I let her go, and then she reports back anything. Unless there's something major, then I try to be at the meetings for them.
Is it typically an hour?
No, it's typically 7 to close to 9, so it is almost 2 hours.
Okay, it's
Yeah,
good to know.
depending on discussions that they might
Yeah.
have, but I would plan for the 2 hours.
Okay.
But they also, in the winter, you do have a break because a lot of them are snowbirds. So typically, January, February, March, they're not having a meeting, so if that helps too.
Yeah, so so what I'll share is that I will strongly consider it.
Great.
I'm sure the commitment I can make is at least
Yes.
one.
Right, right.
And then I'll see what else I can do.
Yep.
But I'm dedicated to that, and I also think it's important.
I do too.
I think they're great. I love seeing
Oh,
them when I go to the library.
they are.
And
And
yeah.
if I can encourage, I think we have a couple members that aren't friends, so you might want to think about joining and being a friend of theirs. You know, they have been very supportive of the library, and so I just want to put that out there if you're interested. I think it's a nominal $10 a year to be a member of the Friends, so if that is an opportunity, I think that would show a lot of support back as well.
All right, I will head that discussion up. Okay, so I'm going to, is there any other questions, discussions for the operating agreement? Do I have a motion for approval of the operating agreement with the Friends of the Novi Library and Novi Library Board of Trustees?
So moved?
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Perfect, approved. Who will be signing this? Will it be director or,
I believe let me double check. I'm gonna have to look back.
Okay.
I have to be reminded, so I will
No
let you
problem.
know. If
Okay.
it is the president, I will be calling you.
and we could do it at the next Friends meeting if you'd like. Okay,
Yep,
perfect.
awesome.
Wonderful. All right, and B is the
Yes.
meeting room rental, that's still impending, so we will table that.
It is,
till-
I do apologize that
problem.
this has
No.
taken a while, but it is a moving part.
You know, I would rather
We keep
have
having
perfection
conversations, our
as
admin
opposed, yeah.
staff, and they are the ones who deal with meeting room rentals and stuff. And, you know, we get things that come in and we're going through the policy and we're having discussions. We want to make sure that we don't bring something back that we're going to continually change. So we will continue to work on this and bring it back to you.
I appreciate you
At
keeping
this
it on the
time, there's
table for
nothing
us.
that's glaring or doesn't work in the policy. We do have some revisions, and we know there's some there's some upgrades to it and changes, and we will be bringing it back.
And we recognize that these things take
Yeah,
time
yeah.
too, so.
They do.
If it's done right, then.
Right.
It might take some time.
But what we have in place works very well. It's not stopping us from doing our work and providing good service.
Awesome, perfect. One thing I did mention, that we did get some wonderful information from Doreen Poupard, who's on our city council. She likes to keep us updated as to things that's going on in Fox Run, so I just want to know that this was presented to us this evening. And we are on to item 16, adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you so much.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.